Okay, so I really just have to get into this like story time really quickly. I was calling around because y'all know I was trying to find some representation for the medical malpractice. I have representation in another part of the lawsuit, but I was trying to find representation specifically for the medical malpractice. And for whatever reason, every single time I would call people, they would want to hear the story first before telling me that no, we specialize in this or we specialize in that. So it's just like, so I'm just sitting here explaining this traumatizing story for what reason? If like you could have let me know from the beginning if you could or could not help me when I asked, does this firm do medical malpractice? You know, you could have told me, oh, we do this particular type, or we do that particular type. Why am I having to share the story when like, huh? And the weirdest part is, this one particular time I was sharing the story and I let the person know, sorry if I'm a little frustrated. It's just, I've explained this a few times and like, I'm a little like, I am a little frustrated. So like, just like saying like, if I'm short and to the point, like that's why. I was just like explaining that. And then this person was like, you know, asking like what happened. I was like, okay, I went to the hospital for an allergic reaction and ended up leaving in a wheelchair. And then his response back goes, are you still using a walker? And I was like, I literally go, well, I never said I was using a walker. I really could, in fact, still be in a wheelchair. But yes, I am still using a walker. And in that moment, I was like, this person knows who I am. This person knows who I am. Now, it's been a really weird journey for me because the person that caused me to have the medicine-induced stroke was a person who knew who I was. I went in and only told people my government name, and she called me my nickname. And the only way for you to know that is if some way, shape, or form you follow one of my social medias online. And I've had a few instances where I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a celebrity. But like, I've had a few instances where it's just like, oh, these people know who I am. Like quite a few instances since that moment. So much to the point where I'm like, am I a celebrity? Like, what's going on? Because like, there'd be so many times where like I'll be out and like someone would see me and I'm like, I know they know who I am. Or like people would just say things to like get a response or reaction. Or I've had people try to like start quote unquote fake fights. They could pull up their phone and like record. Like just a lot of really weird situations and incidents where I'm like, okay, Lord, maybe I am like bigger, like I said, like stuff, my name holds weight. But I'm like, maybe like I'm bigger than I personally believe that I am, which I guess is good because like being the other way around would be just fucking crazy. Like thinking I'm bigger than I would actually am. It's like I'd definitely rather be like question like, am I bigger than I actually believe I am? Than like, yeah, I'm that bitch. It's like, girl, who are you? You know what I mean? But it's definitely like been a little weird. And it's like always like, it's like I've been out of my show, but it put me into my show like a little bit because I'm like, I don't know, like I've been doing influencing for about 10 years and you know, I've built my business, so I focus on the fact that I'm a fitness influencer and focus on the fact that I've built a business and like a career doing fitness. I don't necessarily focus on the fact that like my other platforms have the following that they have. I don't necessarily focus on the fact that like, you know, I've built multiple businesses from this one platform. I don't really focus on that. And it's like, well, if I write everything down in the sense of like, okay, well, yeah, I do fitness. Yes, I have a podcast. Yes, I'm a rapper. Yes, I have a clothing line. You know, yes, I have a beauty line. You know, yes, I have this amount of quote unquote, like, no, I don't say quote unquote. I was gonna say quote unquote followers, so they don't call y'all that. I call y'all my Cookie Monster Cougars. Y'all are followers, y'all are my supporters. Like, we're family. But to have, you know, that mean like the number quote unquote on all of the platforms, I guess like if I were to look at myself, maybe I'd be like, oh damn, like she's really popular, this and that. But I'm a very humble person. I'm always like, there's always space for improvement. There's always room to grow. There's always a way to be a better person. So because of that, I don't have a big head about the accomplishments and accolades that I've had. So much to the point where sometimes I never even allow myself to truly appreciate those moments and enjoy it. Like, I know y'all tired of me talking about this, but I'm gonna talk about it. When I was featured in Women's Health magazine, I didn't have a moment to celebrate that. No one in my life like took a moment to celebrate that with me, and I shouldn't have waited for those people. I really should just like celebrate myself and do myself a party. But I was like, yeah, woo! I did a post. Kind of was like super excited for like that week, and then I was like, okay, now, what else do I need to focus on? I know it's a great mindset to have. It's also a bad one because you really should appreciate those moments more. Because outside of like letting the Lord know you appreciate it and bringing in more opportunities like that, it allows you to sit and acknowledge the hard work that you put in for these accomplishments. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, situations like that, because I'm always looking for room for improvement, do keep me humble in the sense of like, I don't walk around like, and even though like everybody has moments of like popping and shit, but like, anytime I meet somebody, like, I'm not like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm better than you. Definitely not, definitely not, definitely not. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, this and that. I'm gonna talk to you like a normal person, have a conversation, and find something super duper cool about you to like congratulate you on, or to uplift you on, or whatever. That's just the type of person I am. But I have noticed like over the year, like from that moment happening, like after the like, and granted, I will say this, the situation that happened in 2021 with like the whole missing persons thing, like that video got over 40,000 views. And I was published in almost every magazine known to man in America. Excuse me. So, yes, that does make sense. But nothing in my life after that really changed. Like, life for me was still very intense and very hard. And especially dealing with like all the like trauma from those situations. But it wasn't until the restaurant and hospital thing, because like even at the restaurant I was like vlogging, doing my own thing, and then like one of the managers was like, ah! So like it wasn't until like, not saying that the person knew who I was, just like, it wasn't until those situations and then like situations after where again I could tell that like people knew who I was and stuff like that. It's like, okay, dang, like maybe I am more of like an influencer and celebrity than I think I am. And I had someone like who I know who's in the industry who literally was like, yeah, my friend's a celebrity, and like she was referring to me because I was having a conversation with her. And even after that, I still didn't like think of myself like that. Like, I still don't, in the sense of like, I see my influence, I do, but I don't know, I guess because even though I've been published in big publications, I guess because I'm not like on the Billboard's top 100 yet or something like that, I don't see myself that way. And I don't know, but I did just have to share that story because like I thought that was crazy. That I'm like, I literally said like I walked into the hospital and I left in a wheelchair, and that's all that I said. And he was like, "Oh, are you still using a walker?" And it's like, how you know that? What you talking about, Willis? Like, what is you talking about, bruh? But at the same time, I guess that like that's cool because that also means that like my story is reaching far and that people are tuning in to like a very traumatic situation that happened to me, because I want to share my story to obviously get it heard, but to prevent that from happening to anybody else. So I guess that's a good thing. I was just like thrown off and creeped out, and literally like after that, like the call like hangs up, and then I like called back and someone else picked the phone, and I explained how like, I literally explained to him, yeah, he said this and I only said this, and I'm a little creeped out. And like I'm thinking to myself, well then why'd you call back? And it's just like sometimes, and I literally just like said it, and I was just like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? So then like the person was like, oh, I'm gonna transfer over to that person. I was like, well, shouldn't you just like read notes and like them and then take it? Because like I don't know. Is it like a conflict of interest because the person knows who I am? You know? I don't know. But for the medical malpractice part, there's been a lot of issues. A lot of people like, you know, that's very hard to prove. And I'm like, I think that that's crazy. I think that it's crazy that these people in these positions as nurses and doctors can do the most wildest, outlandish shit, knowing that it's going to be hard for someone to pick up the case. That's bull. But anyway, I just had to like tell y'all that because I just thought that was just like crazy. And that was like for me, like today, like, okay, babe, you're a celebrity. Just go ahead and acknowledge that. Take time to process that. You are. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't be weird. Don't feel weird about it. Don't, you know, freak out. But definitely take the time to acknowledge you're like, you're probably a celebrity. And the craziest part is, had the situation not happened, I don't think I ever would have like realized that because there would be no need for me to. There's still like, now I'm just like, whoo, instead of like, oh yeah, people know my name, I'm just like, okay, like now when I go out, I'm like, does someone know who I am here? I'm more that way than like, hey, you know? So if someone ever catches me out and wants a photo, whew, I'm probably not going to be looking the best because anyway, I love y'all, babe and babettes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this little random spill. We're just getting shit off my mind because that's what we do. We're family and that's what we do. We just vent to each other. So go ahead and drop a vent time down below. Just some random stuff that happened. I would love to read it and comment back. Cookie Monster Crew, we ride at Zorn. What do we do? We ride at Zorn. I love y'all and I will see y'all soon.